Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
For more than 2 decades, the Army Corps of Engineers has worked with partners to change how dams are operated, reducing flood risk and boosting local economies along the way. A new analysis says the returns are significant, but funding is now at risk. Jim Howe of the Nature Conservancy explains what the program actually does and what could be lost. Jim, it's great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you, Terry. Nice to be here today.
You're actively engaged in support of the Sustainable Rivers program. That program's been around for a little more than a decade, though. So why is it so newsworthy lately? What's going on?
Yeah, first, a little background on the Sustainable Rivers program. It's an initiative of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to look at the way the Corps operates its 700 plus dams in the U.S. To see if we can get more efficiencies and deliver more benefits for Americans. And the Sustainable Rivers program has worked at about over 100 of those Army Corps dams, 65 different rivers, and basically trying to figure out, can we provide more balance to this system? A lot of these dams were built in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, really before we understood the impacts that they can have on river systems and local communities. And so what SRP, the Sustainable Rivers Program, does is says, okay, can we still meet this dam's mission of providing flood risk management or navigation or hydropower, but also provide more environmental benefits for communities? And the answer is clearly, yes, we can. We can do both. And that's what SRP does, working with local communities and the Corps.
And let's talk about a particular river, right? How does this play out in everyday life? I think about the Pacific Northwest, where there's a lot of concern over salmon migration and the limits that many of the dams in that river system put on that return to home waters, if you will, for the fish. What's going on there?
Well, so let's first acknowledge that dams provide a number of important services for society. The flood risk management that we talked about, the shipping, water supply, hydropower, but that's come at a cost too. And I think we increasingly recognize that now, that dams are impacting fisheries, they're impacting the health of our rivers and even water quality. So what SRP does is it basically brings together at a dam that's enrolled in the program, it will bring together scientists, stakeholders, the public, to talk about, hey, what could we do differently here? What are some of the targets that if we could manage this dam differently? Maybe we can, maybe we can't. What could we generate here? And so if the issue is, hey, we want to see salmon, better habitat for salmon downstream, we want to see healthier wetlands upstream at the reservoir, there are things that the Army Corps can do to operate that dam differently. And that's the magic of the program, is it really does spark some creativity in the Corps and with the public about what might be done.
You mentioned a number of these dams that have been in existence for, some of them going on close to a century. One of the issues that the Corps has struggled with there is maintenance of the dams themselves. Is SRP engaged in that, and what impact does it have?
No, great question, Terry. SRP does not engage in maintenance of dams or new construction at all. Its focus is purely on operations. So if you think about, if a dam were a car, then SRP is not about building a new transmission, putting new tires on the car. It's really about tuning the engine so that we're getting the best performance from the car.
Jim Howe is a senior policy advisor with the Nature Conservancy. So, Jim, let's go back to where we started. Why is the SRP program back in the news now? What is the Nature Conservancy worried about here?
Yeah, the news, Terry, is that the Nature Conservancy, and let me back up a little bit too. The Nature Conservancy, we're a nonprofit organization with a mission of conserving the lands and waters on which all life depends, not just for nature, we like to say, but for people too. The Nature Conservancy, nature.org, we just commissioned a new economic benefits analysis of the Sustainable Rivers program, which shows that the program is generating a return on investment for federal spending of up to 14 to 1. So for every dollar that the federal government spends, the public is getting $14 back. And that's really that's an extraordinary return, and something that we think underscores the value of this program to Americans.
how do you compute that return? Is it increased recreational opportunities or shipping on rivers, or how do you compute that?
Yeah, great question again. So how do we determine the return on investment? Well, what SRP is generating is cleaner water, healthier wetlands and floodplains, both upstream and downstream, more fisheries, healthier fisheries. And what that translates into for local communities is better hunting opportunities, better fishing opportunities, more boating and paddling, cleaner water for water treatment plants to treat, more flood resilience when healthier wetlands downstream of a dam can absorb water during storm events. All these things have real and tangible benefits for communities. And what our study showed is that SRP will deliver about $265 million of benefits by 2040. For a small program that's costing about $5 million a year to operate, that's really a tremendous return and the kind of program that we should be investing in.
So if the program is only funded at $5 million, why is it on the chopping block?
The program has been zeroed out in the administration's proposed budget for the coming year. The good news, though, is that the House Appropriations Committee in May has restored funding to the program to $5 million. I think Congress recognizes the value of this program, and we're hoping that the Senate will see what the House has done and also make sure the program is fully funded in the coming fiscal year.
What about the communities that are impacted by the SRP program? Do they understand how it plays out in their local communities?
One of the things that we think we need to do more of is to raise the visibility of the Sustainable Rivers program. I think a lot of people don't realize that this program is so effective, but local communities are getting major benefits. I'll give you 4 examples from around the country. And these are all in our case studies in the report that was the independent report that was generated. One is in Caddo Lake, which is on the Texas and Louisiana border. SRP is generating healthier wetlands, and that's providing greater flood storage capacity for downstream and upstream communities. At the Mississippi River in Missouri, near St. Louis, SRP's wetland management techniques have generated more hunting opportunities for Americans. At the Green River in central Kentucky, SRP is changing the way the reservoir is managed, which is creating a longer recreational season for boating and fishing on the reservoir that now stretches into the fall when it used to end in September. And on the Des Moines River in Iowa, SRP's techniques are delivering cleaner water to the river, which is helping fisheries and helping a river that provides drinking water for nearly 500,000 Iowans.
So what's at stake here from the Nature Conservancy's perspective in terms of sustained funding and perhaps continued operation of the program?
Our concern is that zeroing out the program doesn't just pause the work, it dismantles it. And so we're really pleased to see Congress stepping up. To us, this is exactly the type of program that the federal government should be investing in. It harnesses the value of our natural resources for all Americans, and it seeks a balance in how we manage our rivers and our waters.
I've been speaking with Jim Howe. He's Senior Policy Advisor with the Nature Conservancy. Jim, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thanks, Terry. And if you want to learn more about the study, please go to nature.org. That's the Nature Conservancy's website. If you do a search on the Sustainable Rivers Program, you'll see some web pages pop up. It's the one that's titled Sustainable Rivers Pay for Themselves. You can read our summary of it, and you can actually click on and read the entire report if you're so interested.
Thanks so much. We'll post this interview and a link to the report at federalnewsnetwork.com/Federal Drive. Listen to the Federal Drive on your schedule. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.